guy says QSL. And it's like, doesn't this guy sound like, who's that actor, that character actor? It would be limitless. It would be limitless, the commentary you could do on most of these QSOs. Hey, and then on today's feature, we're going to visit 14313 and do commentary on that.
Clark, I can see you having a podcast. You should actually do that. Just record everything. Put it up there. I'm sure a lot of people listen to that.
But the thing is the camera would just be focused on the receiver. But just can you imagine just do commentary on the QSOs? I actually think that there would be a market for that.
Is there someone intentionally QRMing us on 3873?
I don't hear anybody.
Yeah, I don't hear anything up here.
It's your neighbor with his brand new plasma TV.
No, I hear it on Steve's Web SDR. It's like... It's brutal. And I kind of see it on...
I can see a little something on the pan adapter down there, but I can't hear it.
Yeah, I see something on the pan adapter. I can see the noise, but I can't hear it here. But I hear it on his Web SDR. But anyway, oh man, I'm hungry. I don't know what I want to eat.
Hey, Perry.
Yes?
Hey, did you get all the parts for that double balance tuner?
Almost. I ordered the capacitor today, a 5 kilovolt, 7 to 1,000 picofarad vacuum variable capacitor. I have more copper tubing on the way because Lowe's ran out. I got another 20-foot roll on the way to wind the other inductor. I wound one. Then the coax, the braid, and the switch. One of the switches will be here on Thursday, I think. I think those three things will be here on Thursday. And then I just got to wait for the capacitor. And that's coming from Israel, so it could take a little while.
Oh, those Israel ones, that's the good stuff. They're the good capacitors. Ah, good stuff, man. I meant to mention to you, I don't know if you can unorder or whatever with that copper tubing, but a lot of times if you go straight to like a plumbing supply house, if you go what's some of the PA ones? I think RJ Walker is one, or any of those. If you go to a plumbing supply house, stuff like that is way, way, way cheaper than it is at Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah, well, I ordered it last night, and then I checked it today, and it had just shipped. I ordered it from Amazon. It was like $20 or something, and that's what I paid for the one roll at Lowe's. But yeah, it's a little bit too late, but what the hell, ain't no big deal.
By the way, Gary says hi to everyone here.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary. Well, $20, that's not too bad. What size did you go with?
Yes, Billy?
Well, I was going to say, when you go to wind those things, I wound both of mine at the same time, 2 pieces around the same form, and then I corkscrewed them out of each other so that they would just be a little more symmetrical, a little more identical. But you should be able to wind them separate times. It's just you really, really have to take great care to make 2 identical inductors. I mean, they really have to be identical, electrically, mechanically. It's important.
And whatever you do, don't adjust them by using a shunt.
You know, what I was going to do is I was going to make, spacers for the coils. I was going to make, equal ones for both of them. I'm going to make 8 of them, 4 for each, so they're equally spaced. That was my plan anyway, but that's I guess that would have been a good idea to wind them both together, and then they would have been exactly a 1/4 inch apart. But I was just going to make each hole, a quarter-inch apart, and then just wind them through the spacers. That's how I read a couple guys doing it online. So that was my take on it. But yeah, I get what you mean about making them exactly the same.
Yeah, it'll just help you when you go to tune this thing. I mean, you'll see, it's super touchy, man. Like, it's not for everybody. Gnat's ass adjustments will make a lot of difference. So, you'll see. You're going to have to play with that thing for a while.
It's going to be fun. It's a project, and that's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it out of necessity. You know what I mean? Because I got everything over here already works. So this is just, honestly, just a project, not something that I needed to do. But it would be nice to have a tuner that I could tune my antenna as it is on 160 and have it work. But we'll see how it works out. W3MMR.
I thought you are on 160.
I am. I hook it up as a long wire now, as a T antenna. So I have it works. I get out fine, but my receive isn't. I receive you guys better when it's as a short dipole than I do when it's hooked up as a T antenna. Much better. The guys go from being 30 or 40 over down to like 15 over S9 or right on my noise level. So that's the the big reason. Has nothing to do with me getting out.
So you want to feed this simply like a short dipole? So you're putting the RF into the two conductors like you are now?
Well, that's what Billy's doing.
Yeah, but he has a 160-meter antenna.
No, I don't.
Well, it's got to be longer than on this band.
His antenna's the same length as mine.
Clark, I use the same antenna on 160 that I use here, and it's only 130-foot-ish overall.
Well, you're dealing with single-digit ohms as a feed point impedance.
I was in my old setup, and here it is actually over 50 ohms.
If it works, it works. It doesn't, it doesn't, We'll see what happens.
I'm dealing with a crap ton of antenna current, though, on 160. That's one thing I do have.
Oh, yeah.
I'll keep it as it is on 160, But, yeah, we'll see. Testing and tuning.
Well, Perry, I told you what I have for feeder and why I have it for feeder. And that's what I would do if I were you. Just use something chunky, because you're going to have a crap ton of current just like me on 160.
Right. Yeah, well, I'm not, if there's an issue, I'm not I'm not going to go through all that just to get on 160. I'll just, I'm not pulling everything down and redoing everything. I'll just leave it as it is. And just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but, you get that thing working, just make sure that the feed line and the first bit of the antenna can handle, like, pretty serious amounts of current. We're talking, like, a lot.
You're, like, ridiculously strong here.
The band is changing.
No. Because if the band was changing and going along, everybody else would be stronger. You're closer than just about everybody.
Well, there you go. That's why.
Must be that gym membership.
I hear a 4 station in there, but unfortunately I can't pull them out. Do you guys hear them?
All right, who was the 4 station? And now he's gone away.
Nah, he just came back here. I can't pull him out though.
Guys ditched me up there.
Up where? I thought you guys had been down here.
It was on 85. Brett and I were up there, and you know.
Oh, sure. You in the dust.
No, I just, my Perry was, I didn't know you were in the dust. I knew Perry was down. I wanted to say hello before I got a bite to eat.
Yeah, so who stood up who?
Yeah, I can't even hear you locally, Pop.
It was Billy that was, Brent, that was so loud. He was 50 over 9 when we were up on 85.
What?
And yeah, it was 55 over.
It was the homeboy was 50 over 9.
That's good, right?
Yes, it's very 50 over 9 is good.
Well, that was 60 over.
It's like you can't have too good of a time, Billy, you know, and you can't be too strong.
Do I hear 65 over? No, I'm out.
It was 55 over a little earlier.
You know, this is exactly why S-meters just don't have the same calibration they did back in the day. 55 over, you'd have to have a, 600-watt signal on a mobile parked in your driveway in order to do that?
What?
Yeah, probably. It's true, because what was it? An S9 is supposed to be 50 millivolts per meter. Is that right? 50 millivolts per meter at the antenna jack. So 60 dB. That's uncanny amounts of voltage across those antenna terminals.
Yeah, 50 microvolts at 50. Yeah.
That could light up a light bulb.
Microvolts, millivolts. Oh my God.
Could light up a light bulb. Light up a number 47.
Yes, microvolts, but still 60 dB more than 50 microvolts? That's impressive.
That's what you're on anyway, isn't it, Frank?
Yeah, that's what I'm on, this 7,000.
Me too.
I swap my antenna coax every couple of years, you know, to get those bunched up electrons out of the end that don't go out.
I got to get something to eat. I'll be right back. W2SDR. Got to get a bite to eat.
People seem to dismiss the concept of SWR. You know, they think that all the wattage they put out just goes into the antenna. Does anyone ever give some thought to where those reflected watts go? They get bunched up right by the connector at the antenna. So try reversing your coax from time to time to flush them out. Oh yeah, they'll be talking about this on QRZ.
You'll hear it on CB.
Breaker. I'm hitting you with 20 pounds, Brent. Word.
The birds are flying away.
Hey, Brent, how about ghost watts?
You know, like them bird watts, man. Ain't no average, ain't no peak, but there's bird. Yeah, I always wanted a Browning. Never had one. I may get one. Who knows if I ever talk on 11 meters again. But yeah, they're cool. I always loved them. I always loved the way they sound, and Always love that that ping.
Yeah, 58, September 58 it started.
So people want a ton of money for them things. Hey, ship me off the night of turns counter. Very nice of him. I'm very grateful for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, Keith is very generous. He's always been really generous. He's got a ton of them. Good stuff. His basement is full of guns.
That's awesome. That's yeah, that's cool, man. He was definitely very gracious of him, and I definitely owe him. So I told him next go around, the drink's on me.
See that? Ham berries. Y'all are appreciated more than you could ever know.
I mean, seriously, those damn turns counters go for a lot of money online, man. Like 50 or upwards of $150 for some of these, real simple turns counters. So, when he said he was sending it to me, I was very, very happy. So that was very nice of him. W3MMR.
Hey, Brent, you ready for this? A couple of years ago, I'm on the air talking about how, it'd be fun to go HF Mobile sometime, but I don't really have anything that'll do that. A week later, this huge box shows up outside the door here, UPS. In it is an ICOM 706, a brand new magnet mount, mobile magnet mount, and 3 ham stick antennas for $80, $40, and $20. Can you believe that? This is what I'm saying. The people are amazing, absolutely amazing. The first experience I had with that, definitely years ago, probably like 10 years ago, is lamenting about how you can't get 1N34 diodes anymore. I had a project that needed them. A couple of days later, 5 handy sets. 1N36, 2 different models, like the traditional old ones, and then the very small kind. And then 3 other styles with a note that just says, here you go, enjoy, and with some extras to mess around with. And then, what was the other thing? I mentioned, what was it? There was a lot of stuff like this. This is what's really incredible. Well, yeah, I would mention wanting to experiment with 10-meter mobile and a HTX 10 brand new. This is the kind of stuff that these guys do. Don't ask for anything in return. It's really quite amazing. N1BG.
To wrap the Toro.
I said, what do I owe you? No, nothing. It's like, you're kidding me.
I got one one more
pass
for you.
on the goodwill
So
when they
people have
can.
been bugging me for a long time, as Tim would say, about getting into SDRs. I said, I don't need any SDRs. I got this. And then one day I said, you know what? I've actually been thinking about trying out an SDR because, you know, it would be kind of cool to mess with the filters and stuff. Brent, sit down for this. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5. 5, 5, 5. SDRs showed up over the course of the next 10 days, all as gifts. I'm telling you, this ham radio community is unbelievable.
It's your voice, you know. It's either that or sexual favors. I don't know which.
Oh! That would get me out of the hobby. But, it's just people being super nice, and so I endeavor to do the same. You all have made me a new person. I'm a pay-it-forward kind of person now.
Oh, my Atlanta.
My doctor said Atlanta, by the way.
You know, I said that Ruggiero guy in New Jersey, some resistors. He got on eBay to pay $6 for a couple of resistors. I said, are you kidding me? I said, just look in your mail. I'll ship you some resistors.
Yeah, I try to pay it forward every chance I get. You know, a lot of times I don't have much to offer, but when I can, and when I do, I try to pay it forward because it always comes back around. I did it a lot, you know, at the local convenience store, or, you know, at Wawa, at the convenience store. You know, somebody would be behind me, and I'm like, I'll pay for their coffee. You know, just, you know, I got so-and-so's coffee, or if I see like a police, especially every time I see a cop or something in there, I tell, you know, I pay for their coffee, you know, whether they're in line or not. I just tell the guy, you know, I got his coffee, or, you know, I try to do that all the time. Or people, you know, that are, you know, sitting there counting out change on the counter to buy something, and I pay for it. You know, just little things like that. You know, I feel that stuff will come back. That stuff will come back in the long run and help you out.
You know those people aren't secretly rich.
Well, I don't, you know, but either way, it's still a good deed.
Yeah, I can't second guess things like that. I mean, there's always going to be that minuscule percentage of takers, but in the grand scheme of things, that's how I live my life. Try to help people out all the time. Yeah, I sleep at night. Some people are, you know, I just think it's very noble.
You got to pay it forward with respect. Respect is worth more than money.
That's right. And you're ugly.
Well, that's...
We have to get out off of the speaker so we get back where we belong.
Well, why don't they get on the air and tell us?
Who was that? Was that my mud duck father? Was that my mud duck father? I can't hear him.
Yeah, the window. Yeah, my window is open wherever I want. I don't get no respect.
Tell my old man to pump it up.
Yeah, you use those girly electrons. You ought to pump it up.
Girly electrons.
I'm going to pump it up right now. No, it's not. Oh, there it goes.
Tim's apprentice.
Right, like Billy said, life's too short for QRP. We QRO.
Yeah, remember that night you guys were on the air maybe back a couple of years ago? We were on 8.5 having a nice time, and this guy all pumped up because he bought this brand new, you know, HRO plastic radio station. And he's running the linear, get this, at a kilowatt of AM carrier. And I says, you know, you got to break that thing. It's not designed to run that much power. Those tubes have 500 watts a click. He burned it up. We could hear the Zorch. I never laughed so hard in my life. You know, I mean, really, a little humility can go a long way. What a jerk. No way. That's priceless. Do you ever have your phone dial numbers? You got my phone in my pocket, the iPhone. That damn thing will butt dial, and all of a sudden, it does it all the time. I have to be careful.
Gotta love those touch screens, huh?
Yeah, they suck screen. You can provide a way to lock it out, short of shutting the damn thing off, but no. You know, all of a sudden, didn't you just call me? Ah, damn it.
What?
Over. And just don't leave the phone on the phone app when you get done with a call. Get it off your contact list. Get it off the list of last phone calls made. All of that.
Oh, hold on a minute, Clark. I feel like there's a story involved with this advice.
Oh, yeah. Like when you get done with a miserable phone call, and then you hang up, and it can't be any too soon. You put it in your back pocket, and as you're doing that, like the screen slides across your finger, and then you start going off to your friend about that so-and-so you just got off the phone with. And then all of a sudden you hear this coming from your back pocket, and you lift your phone up and you see the call timer says, like 1 minute and 30. Oh, my God.
Oh, boy, that's a good one. KD2AFV, because I don't think I've actually said it in a little bit.
W3MMR.
N1BG, and I've made all the mistakes for you.
And W2BTK somewhere in New Jersey on top of a mountain.
Yes, and we're going to arrest you. Unless you work it up yourself.
I have a tax-free back.
Oh, the funny part is they have a whole system to scamming things. What they do is they speak in just broken enough English that the people on the other end feel like they're smarter than them. Because that's the whole thing. If they speak perfect English, then the people that they're trying to scam are like, well, I'm not going to be able to, I'm not smarter than this guy. He's a scammer, obviously. But if it's just broken enough English, people on the other end, the people they're trying to scam, sit there and think, oh, you know what? I can get the better of this guy. I think I can win.
The screen looked just like something plastic. Ended up, like a full going only to find out. There you go. So we'll be
Oh, they are being very, very sneaky.
I may have to go get a snack and crack.
Does it all the time, except this time you were able to get access to the guy.
Oh man, there's a whole
scam call while you were talking about that.
Doing that. The problem is these call centers, the scam centers, they're getting wise to it. And now when they call you from the computer, they use a virtual machine. They hide behind that just because of these people. Because they'll get into the system and they'll put a sys key lock on there, and then they'll just start deleting everything, but yeah, they wised up. They wised up to it, the better ones.
I did have one of the DIY boxes.
It's such a movement. The carriers don't want their call volumes to go down, but it's $40. I hate fun. It's the local exchange. I am able to even spoof my own phone.
Well, I'll tell you, I've drastically cut down on the ones I've gotten. I have an audio file saved on my phone that it mimics a dial, like the old dial modems or like a fax machine. So I'll answer the phone, I'll hit mute right away, and you basically just sit there for a minute, and then you hit the actual like that the fax machine sound, and that way. Their little system, they think they call the machine, so they take you right off of the list, and they'll take you off anybody who buys that list from them.
Well, here's the problem. Most of it is generated until you take a load, they won't kick over to another line. So they get really specific. That's trickier, you know, when it's so well orchestrated. I get a lot of things that are basically scams, until you say hello, it doesn't kick over.
Yes, very sneaky they are.
W2SDR.
You know, technology is available, but the carriers have not implemented this system. No more robo is sort of today, get this zombie debt collection company out of Texas. 5 minutes to 9, and
W3MMR.
the frequency one.
Well,
See you later. I think I'm going to hop on out of here soon, too. I got a couple things I got to wrap up here in the shack. Then same thing, home for dinner.
Take care, Brent. We'll see you at W3MMR. I'm going to go make some grub. And if I come back and you guys aren't here, maybe I'll be on 160, but I got to go eat. I'll catch y'all later, W3MMR.
Yep, I'll be standing by, too. 73 W2SDR.
N1BG.
W2BTK. I might jet out of here and make some dinner, but receiver's on. I'll be listening from the other room.
Great. We're going to get chaperoned.
What?
Millennials on the first weekend in February. Be there.
What's the date?
The first weekend in February would be what? Friday is January 31st. So Saturday the 1st, Sunday the 2nd.
Alrighty. I'll make sure I take off of work.
Oh, yeah. And you can celebrate Groundhog Day, Super Bowl. It's all happening on that weekend.
Hey, you're saying that with a southern drawl, Clark.
That's right.
Oh, you can celebrate Groundhog Day.
Good eating.
That's right. Them duck pluggers is good, though, Bo. Ooh-wee. Man, you ever had one of them cotton choppers? Oh, man, I tell you what. Them things is good. Boy, I put them right up there with them duck plus and possums. I'll see it.
Anybody else concerned by that transmission?
Nope, it's the norm. I'll catch you at W3MMR.